Hi, and welcome to the Branded Blogger Podcast, where we give you everything you need on blogging, social media, and web marketing. I'm your host, Kaylin Coy, blogger, author, and internet marketing goddess. Today marks our very first episode. Who's excited? I know I am. Just to give you guys a little background info, I'm Kaylin Coy, and I've been blogging for the past 7 years. That's a long time, right? I've been very successful in my blogging career, and I can tell you it didn't happen overnight. In that time, I've learned a lot of lessons about what works and what doesn't. I even wrote 2 books on blogging, Go From Blog to Brand in 30 Days, and The Foolproof Guide to Monetizing Your Blog. They're both available in Kindle and paperback on Amazon.com if you want to check them out. I started this podcast because all those years of blogging experience have given me so much advice to share with other up-and-coming bloggers. I've listened to a lot of blogging podcasts out there, and I find that very few are hosted by women. Since there are so many female bloggers out there writing mommy blogs and about other niche topics like food, photography, crafting, decorating, fashion, beauty, and tech, I thought, why wouldn't they want another female voice to go to for blogging advice? Because of that, we're also going to use this podcast to recognize and feature some of the most successful female bloggers out there. Since I started out in the beauty blogging industry and I'm writing my second beauty blog right now, I know how hard it can be to get early recognition. If you know a female blogger who you think would make a great feature on this show, tweet me at username Kaylin Coy. And for the record, that is spelled Cailinkoi. Been a source of pain for my entire life. As you listen to this podcast, you'll find that I'm annoyingly philosophical at times. I think and speak in platitudes, and I love really big concepts. For example, branding is a very big concept that I think too many bloggers ignore. That's why I wrote Go From Blog to Brand in 30 Days as my first book and named my website The Branded Blogger. It's to help you guys understand the concepts of branding and why they're important to your blog. Today's topic is no less big or philosophical. It's what I call the universal characteristics of successful bloggers. I published this concept in my book, and I'd like to share it with all of you today. In my opinion, there are 6 universal characteristics that define all successful bloggers. Let's go through each one and talk about why they make or break a successful blogger. Okay, the universal characteristics of successful bloggers. Number 1, successful bloggers write early, write often, and write well. They use correct grammar, and they check their spelling. I find this one so important. Nobody wants to read a blog that isn't well written. Plus, it makes you come off very unprofessional to advertisers, and if your goal is to eventually get paid real-life cash money for your blog, you're turning advertisers away with your poorly written, misspelled posts. It's also not going to help you get anywhere with Google if you're only posting once a month. What amount works for you varies, but ideally, I like once a day. Schedule your posts ahead of time on an assigned day of the week, and you won't have to worry about being on the computer 24/7 to make that happen. Number 2, successful bloggers edit themselves relentlessly. Yes. Why? Back to number 1, because we're all human and it's easy to make mistakes. You also want to make sure you're always putting the best written content out there possible. Add information if you feel like you left something out. Readers want a one-stop shop. And every time a page on your site changes, Google sees something new when they crawl. And that's like a little gold star, happy face, check mark from Google. Bonus. Number 3, the third universal characteristic of successful bloggers. Number 3, successful bloggers are patient and don't expect the world to fall into their laps. If you can't be patient, you shouldn't be in the blogging game. Let's face it, no major ad company is going to give you $15 per impression right out the gate when you've got under 1,000 unique visitors per month. It's just not going to happen. Building traffic, domain authority, and page trust takes time. It's taken years for most sites to go from 0 to massive traffic and high page rank. It took me 3 years with my first site to make any money. Granted, at that point I was making 5 figures, but it took 3 years to make it happen. And once it happens, it's amazing. Be prepared to work hard for a long, long time if you want to be a success in this industry. Okay, ready? The 4th universal characteristic of successful bloggers. Successful bloggers choose to collaborate, not compete. Collaboration is, in my opinion, the key to the internet marketing future. Competitors are your friends. Learn from them, let them set the bar, and partner with them. If you don't know who your competitors are, you're missing out on some major ways to take your blog to the next level. Guest post, comment, link exchange, tweet, and generally make buddies with these people. They will become a source of new opportunities for you for years to come if you focus on building these relationships. All right, number 5. Successful bloggers celebrate their wins and use their losses as motivation. There are all kinds of losses to be counted online. Lost a follower, lost some page rank, lost a contest which could have boosted your blog into the spotlight. If all anyone ever did was focus on these losses, we'd never have the motivation to keep flying as high as possible. As you apply for networks and sponsored opportunities, you'll find a lot of no's entering your life. But as we mentioned in number 3, be patient and eventually that yes will come. Sing the praises of that yes all day and use it as fuel to help you reach your next success. It's all about positivity. Which brings me to the final point. Number 6, the final characteristic of successful bloggers. Successful bloggers don't burn bridges, and above all, they know that love and optimism breed success. This is possibly the most important characteristic because it combines the aspects above, positivity and relationship building. It's not just building relationships with your competitors, it's also building relationships with readers, commenters, and advertisers. If someone leaves you a negative comment, take it in stride. Many bloggers deal well with constructive criticism and are able to leave an appropriate reply, like, "Oh, thanks, Jim, that's a good point, I'll add that back into the post." It's tougher when you get an unfounded, cruel rant, but remember, they're just trolls. Don't feed the trolls. Calm down and respond as politely as you can, and if the comment is inappropriate, just hit delete. It's also possible to burn bridges with advertisers by being unprofessional or lazy about your work with them. Poorly written email exchanges, late or missed sponsored posts, and lackadaisical replies will never get you called on again. In today's world of brand ambassadorships, they have lots of options, and it's all the more important to build positive brand relationships. Well, that's it for our episode today. I'm so glad you listened. What characteristics do you guys feel are universal as successful bloggers? Tweet me at Kaylin Coy, remember that's CAILINKOY, or comment on the blog post about this episode at brandedblogger.com and let me know. If you like this podcast, please consider giving us a 5-star rating on iTunes. Ratings help us get exposed to more listeners. You can also follow me on Twitter at Kaylin Coy or follow our blog at brandedblogger.com. Thanks for listening.